I'm Maddie Gardner, joined by Chad Silver. We have Lauren Coleman, Jalen Gilkey, and Monique Robinson today.
This kind of reminds me of one of my favorite shows growing up, Full House. We got people all over the place here.
Should we frolic through like a meadow in San Francisco next? Isn't that what they
Sure.
did? Yeah.
We are on Facebook. All of us are going to be on Facebook today. It's going to be busy in there, so we hope to see you there. The live chat, right?
Absolutely. Come chat with us. WFMY News page.
Uh-oh. Was that thunder?
Rumbling.
I heard that too.
Oh,
Monique, what's going on?
Glad I brought my umbrella today.
Yeah, some scattered storms are kind of rolling through Greensboro now, and so you're hearing that rumble. You're hearing it. It's certainly lightning and thunder expected to roll in.
All right, we'll get to the weather forecast in just a moment.
Let's jump right into our top story today. Guilford County parents, they are raising concerns after Guilford County Schools announced changes to bell schedules for the upcoming school year. Dozens of parents took to the district's Facebook page about this change. Many parents I spoke to say they wish there was more parent input when district leaders made this decision.
Changes to start times for Guilford County school students has many parents like Kimberly Shobe frustrated. Her son is a student athlete at Northwest Guilford High School. The new bell schedule has her son starting later than previous years.
And so this pushes everything back for anyone who plays sports, anyone who's involved in after-school clubs, any high school student who has a job. It pushes everything back for them.
JC Prophy's daughter attends the same school. She has similar concerns.
My daughter is an equestrian rider, and her courses are normally at 6 p.m. And with her getting off the bus roughly between 1:45 and 5 o'clock, it's going to create issues with getting to that 6 o'clock session.
For Jade Bell, it's the earlier start time for elementary school students.
In the morning time, but when it's still dark outside and it's cold, some days once the weather starts changing and it starts raining, what does this difference make? Like, how much is it going to really do for the children academically in school?
School leaders say the new start times are meant to improve operational efficiency, reduce late buses, and ease congestion at certain sites with multiple schools.
We have to build a bus schedule based on the number of buses that we have and the number of drivers that we have available to transport our children to school. And we need to build a schedule that we can rely on to get them there.
But parents say they wish there was more transparency.
I would really like to see, did they do research on this? If they did, where's that research? Why did you make this decision?
I just hope that there's more parent involvement moving forward. A survey would have probably been better.
Now, details on the bell schedule for the upcoming school year will vary by school, and you can find that on our website.
Well, most county schools will deal with learning loss this year. A lot of students are taking summer courses to catch up after learning remotely for an entire year. Read, Write, and Spell is an organization that is working to close that gap. The group meets with students where they're at for tutoring sessions. The nonprofit says kids who they work with were already behind before the pandemic, and the need for one-on-one tutoring sessions has grown ever since. Right now, 80 tutors will teach 140 students across 20 Forsyth County schools this upcoming year. They are hoping for more help.
We have schools in which only less than 20% of their students in third grade can read proficiently. And proficiently doesn't mean they're out there picking up a book and sitting down and reading. Proficiently just means they can muscle through their schoolwork. So those are the schools that we're targeting.
The group is looking for 45 tutors for kindergarten and first graders and 20 for second and third grade students. No experience is needed. They're going to have several days of training. Volunteers will need to sign up for a year-long commitment, and tutoring starts in September. For more information on how to get involved for this program, click on this story on our website. That's WFMYnews2.com.
I'm disappointed to show you another noticeable increase in one of our coronavirus metrics. You don't need me to point out the problem. All the way at the end, it sticks out like a sore thumb. The state says it learned of 995 new cases in the past 24 hours. It is a huge increase from the 540 reported the day before. The last time we saw a number this high, May 22nd, nearly 2 months ago. It's continuing the trend we've seen lately as numbers start an upward swing. Now, this is actually a nationwide problem. The number of new daily cases has doubled over the last 3 weeks. Experts are blaming 3 factors here: the rise in the Delta variant, slowing vaccine rates, and 4th of July gatherings. Every state except Maine and South Dakota reported higher case numbers in the last 2 weeks. Even though cases are rising, we are still well below the 250,000 cases the nation tacked on every day in January.
And efforts to protect more people against the coronavirus, they continue, and they are now on wheels around Guilford County. The mobile vaccine unit hit the streets today. This morning, it was at the Greensboro Farmers Market. Friday, it will be at Colts Apartments from 11 to 2. The unit is offering all 3 vaccines. That's the Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. No appointments are needed for the free shots.
The virus is still here. We still have to take precautions. We still need to encourage our family members, our friends, in order to get vaccinated, because it still is killing people. People are dying every day.
WFMY News 2's Marissa Tansino will have more on these units coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5. And tomorrow, we will learn who won the second COVID vaccine lottery. State leaders will announce the winners of the summer cash drawing and cash for college. That announcement comes at 3 p.m., and we will be sure to bring you updates both on air and online.
Let's turn now to the headlines in your 4 to 5 roundup. The family of Andrew Brown Jr. filed a $30 million civil rights lawsuit. It claims he died because of deputies' quote, reckless disregard of his life. Brown was shot and killed on April 21st by deputies in Pasquotank County who were trying to serve drug-related warrants. They shot at Brown's car while he was inside. The Brown's family attorney spoke earlier today.
The district attorney stood before you guys in sometime in May and talked about that he utilized the law to make his decision. Well, he somehow missed the law of North Carolina. He somehow missed the law in the 4th Circuit that covers the state of North Carolina. That is abundantly clear and have been established in 2005 that you cannot shoot a person who is driving away from you.
A local prosecutor argued that the shooting was justified and no criminal charges were filed. U.S. officials uncovered a plot to kidnap an Iranian-American journalist who was living in the United States. They say Iran was trying to take Mazi Alinejad, an advocate for women's rights and a critic of human rights abuses in her home country. Prosecutors say Iranian intelligence agents tried to lure her away from her home in Brooklyn. According to the indictment, 5 critics of the regime were targeted. Pope Francis is out of the hospital today after undergoing a planned surgery to remove half of his colon. The Pope will have several more weeks of recovery before he travels again in September. Now, during that trip, he will visit Hungary and Slovakia. Pope Francis had part of one lung removed when he was younger, but he has otherwise been healthy. And 3 Senate Democrats drafted a plan to end the federal ban on marijuana. The lawmakers also want to implement a series of programs for communities harmed by the war on drugs. Under this plan, states would be able to write their own laws, and marijuana would be taken off of the federal list of controlled substances. Right now, 18 states have legalized recreational use of marijuana. 37 have approved it for medical use.
Well, you heard the rumble of the thunder at the start of this 4 p.m. hour, and that's kind of the case as we're in this typical July pattern, hot and humid and the chance of a late day scattered shower or storm. And you're seeing that here now on our radar with one strong storm making its way through now southern Guilford County. But this storm has been packing a punch with the lightning in northern Alamance County and really started growing and developing, really dumping a lot of rain as well. And then you can see abundant lightning there. Zooming over to Guilford County, this storm has recently just developed, again really packing the punch with the lightning again, and even some heavy rainfall expecting to really move through southern portions of the county. So the temperatures are a little bit cooler in those locations where showers have already rolled their way through. So you see 83 reading there in Greensboro, but 91 in High Point. Not too far away, but that's simply because the shower activity is cooling the air behind it. Now the dew point still feeling sticky and uncomfortable. We're in the upper 60s, riding around the 70s, so making for very muggy feels heading out the door, but that's typical for July across the Triad. So take a look at these pictures. Wow, look at Greensboro. We're seeing that rain shaft here. As you can see, the shower activity, that's exactly where it's located, and then we see the cumulus clouds extending thereafter. Now here in Winston-Salem, a bit of a different picture. Sunnier skies, shower activity not there. Burlington already saw some wet conditions, and you can see that sky cam showing some of those raindrops on there, and then breezy winds, those flags kind of waving there. And then again, High Point, a different picture. So this really gives us us a good outlook as to what sort of sky conditions are currently the case across the Triad. Again, scattered showers and storms, meaning not everyone seeing rain at the same time. In some locations, not seeing any rainfall at all. So again, Greensboro keeping an eye to the skies over the next hour or so. Winston-Salem dry, High Point dry as well. Burlington just got wet. I'll have more details on that 7 days soon.
It might seem that we have been hearing about more shootings here lately. Last night at 11, we broke down a report that you might have seen about the homicide rate in High Point. It's up 350% this year to last.
Yeah, so last year at this time, only 2 homicides had been reported, but you compare that to this year, we're already at 9. You do have to remember, because of COVID restrictions, many people were staying home, and that could have contributed to the lower number of crimes.
Right, to give you some context here, we dug into the homicide rate in a pre-pandemic world. We checked with High Point, Greensboro, and Winston-Salem. Let's start with High Point here. In 2017, there were 11 homicides at this point that year. In 2018, there were 8. And in 2019, there were 10. In the past 24 hours, this year's number actually went up 2 to 11. The latest victims were a 6-year-old boy and a 15-year-old. Even with this recent increase, this year's number of 11 is in line with the 3 years before the pandemic.
Let's move now to Greensboro. The numbers are higher, but you will notice an interesting trend once we start breaking them down. So in 2018, there were 20 homicides. In 2019, there were 23. Last year, there were 31 homicides reported. But this year, the city has had 20 homicides. That's much lower than last year's number, but it is still on track with the numbers before the pandemic. We have reached out to Winston-Salem for their information, and we'll let you know when we hear back. The 4 to 5 is heading to break. Join our conversation on Facebook today.
Bald eagle. Bald eagle. Do I need to spin this back to touch, or where we at, Tasha? Let me know. A-Tech. All right, let's make it happen.
Two former Dudley Panthers, they are teaming back up as the countdown to back to school gets underway. And their mission, not a game win, but to give out school supplies to Greensboro students. WFMY News 2's Jalen Gilkey was at Faulkner Elementary where it all took place.
Well, the names Emmanuel Mosley and Sam Hunt are etched into the record books at Dudley High. Now you can find Mosley locking up NFL wide receivers on Sundays for the San Francisco 49ers. And after a great basketball career at A&T and NC State, Hunt is now an assistant coach for the Aggies. However, today was all about the kids of Greensboro and how the dynamic duo is giving back to the city they call home.
Going to 4? Okay, are you excited about it? You should be, man. I like your shirt. I like that. I remember when I was sitting in these seats here that these kids are sitting there, I had a dream to make it to the NFL, and I told myself if I'm ever fortunate enough to make it, I would definitely give back. So I'm super excited to be able to get back to this school and just get back to the kids.
Emmanuel Mosley once was just a kid from East Greensboro with a dream. Now he's living that dream, not just on Sundays when he's guarding some of the best athletes in the world, but days like today, where he's giving back to the future generations of dreamers.
I want to be a positive impact on them so they can look at me and say, you know, he chased his dream, so I can do the same.
The Mosley Legacy Foundation put together a back-to-school drive at Emmanuel's old elementary school so the kids can make sure they have all the materials they need to be successful this fall.
Well, hopefully it helped them succeed in school, you know. We have crayons, pencils, notebooks, book bags, you know. So those are things that they need in school. So hopefully they get a 3.0, 4.0, Aviana Road type thing.
Mosley even called his high school teammate and Triad basketball legend Sam Hunt to come help out.
Hey, Tony, I know it means the world to them to see somebody they can watch on Sundays or Monday Night Football just be a regular person. And like, you know, he doesn't carry himself as an NFL football player. He carries himself as a regular person that grew up on the east side of Greensboro that went to Dudley High School.
I just want to inspire the next generation, just give them hope. Like I say, just being able to chase their dreams.
And this is just the first of many community events the Mosley Legacy Foundation is planning to put together. And once I learn more, I'll make sure we let you guys know at home as soon as possible.
Very cool stuff. My favorite shot in the entire piece, though, is the little kid doing the football shuffle with them. That's what I call it when you move your feet real fast. I don't know the technical term.
I love that they come back and do this, especially for kids at such a young age. You know, when I remember growing up and you'd meet a professional athlete or something, you remember that for a long time, and then it's a good way to, you know, help advance your interest in the sport, or, you know, if you want to be an athlete one day.
That's what I was going to say too, and I think it just shows the importance of education. You know, seeing people like this that they see on TV, they see coaching at these games. Like, if you want to play like me, you have to value your education.
That's absolutely right, Lauren. And that was one thing that the Mosley family was stressing today, just the importance importance of education, because it doesn't matter what your dream is, what it is that you want to do, most likely you got to be strong in the books and have a solid educational background.
Yeah. Well, let us know when they do more.
Absolutely. It's supposed to be a coat drive coming in the winter, and some more things unrolling for next semester as well. So we'll keep you updated.
I wish the big athletes would do more of that. You know, you hear about a couple, but I mean, there are a lot of people from Greensboro who have made it big, and you don't always hear about them coming back and doing good for the place that made them. So
really impacts the children here.
I was just joking that Jalen knows every single professional athlete to ever come out of Greensboro. He really does.
He does.
That's good contacts.
Well, you know, I had a dream one time, you know. Some of them living the dream.
It was to be on the 4-5.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
To be in Green Care.
Right here.
All right. We'll be right back.
Facebook.
Not with Chad, though.
Not with me, I know. I'm sorry. I'm setting up the phone so we can take a group photo here.
We should do another video.
Me with my ladies. There it is. You got to use the.
Oh, we gotta
it's an important thing.
Am I supposed to be over there? Yes, ma'am.
Oh wait, we're 30 away though.
Can we do this? This is not a good angle for me.
This is you day.
This is not a good angle.
Here, let me move this stuff out of here. I'll be back.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. When life just keeps dealing blow after blow, you may reach a point where you start to say, why me?
Yeah, I know I've done that before, but in today's U-Day segment, Coach Lamont tells us looking within will help you find a reason to fight.
Have you ever experienced one negative attack after another? There was a time I could remember that every time I had settled into a place of security, life would deal me another blow. It is hard to maneuver through life when dealing with objections intended to wage war against you. Maybe you're watching this and you're in a place in your life where it seems that everything and anything has waged war against you. I have been there. I remember thinking maybe I deserved it, so I stopped fighting. But one day I decided I was not created to just suffer pain. I was created to fulfill purpose. We don't know why life delivers unexpected blows, but we are strong enough to endure. If you search within you, you will find the champion that learned and that knows how important it is to get back up when you get knocked down. The fall doesn't destroy you, staying down does.
Great words from Coach Lamont. I like the fact, the part where he said finding your purpose. I think that's so important, especially when you might keep hearing a no over and over again. Just getting out of town maybe to clear your mind and think about what is my purpose, and then that will push you to keep being motivated towards your goals.
It's interesting because I think, you know, when life is especially hard for you in a particular season, it's easy to get into that victim mentality, and then you go down the spiral of like, well, the world's against me, it's never going to happen. That only pushes you farther and farther down. So you really do have to have a moment of personal reflection and say, no, like, I can do this, I am capable, it will get better. Life is peaks and valleys.
Yeah, and you know, we all go through challenges, so I think talking to somebody about it, someone that you see as successful, and asking them how did they get through that, I think that will help as well.
Coach Lamont, always expanding our knowledge and our way of thinking about things. And always looking great in whatever house he's in.
Yes.
We still want to
Nicely
invite
dressed
over.
too.
We want to
Nicely dressed
come
too.
to a dinner party.
Showers and storms making their way through parts of the Triad this evening. And I saw that time lapse of Burlington earlier, that sky cam, excuse me, of Burlington earlier. So I wanted to show the time lapse to see where some of that shower and storm activity exactly has been picking up over the last couple of hours. So this is around 1:30, saw a lightning strike on there, and then some rain kind of ruling through there, and then continuing with some lightning really flashing the sky there, and then another rain shaft kind of pushing its way through as of this 3:44 hour, and then more rain as of now again at 4:30. So our radar showing some of that again activity in southern Guilford County, Alamance County, and now picking up on some activity even towards our west. So this storm right here moving through northern Alamance County, now sort of lightening up on the lightning game, but it definitely was packing a punch just an hour ago. And then zooming over to southern Guilford County, where this active shower is kind of pushing its way through, even some rumble of thunder and lightning, especially on that northern edge as of now. And then continuing over to Davies County, where now they're dealing with the lightning heading in their skies. Now, as we go through tonight, again, continue scattered showers and storm chances, high pressure offshore. That's making for the weather story. And that's why we're seeing chances of scattered and showered storms as we go through the day today and again tomorrow. As we go through the weekend, though, rain chances are a possibility, especially for your Saturday and your Sunday, and that full 7 day just has heat and humidity all in store for the Triad.
Forever go together like a classic combination when a dark delicious cookie meets an icy cold sensation.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Lauren Coleman here with Chad Silver, Maddie Gardner, Jalen Gilkey, and Monique Robinson.
Forgot my name because I'm taking too many vacation days.
That's a laundry
It's basically
list.
what I heard. You're like, who are you again?
No.
I'm that.
Tongue got tied.
I like it.
So normally Chilton would say the gang's all here, but he's the only one who's not here. So can we still
Can't
say
really
that?
say
How does that work?
I don't think we should leave him out just yet. No, if he doesn't come back next week, we'll think about it.
All right.
Hey, we are glad you are joining us though today, and you can be a part of our conversation. Just head to our Facebook page, WFMY News 2. You'll find our live stream there. Today, a father is pleading for the community's help in finding who killed his son. It has been 1 year since Jonathan Brockett died. Police say he was shot on Euclid Street in the early morning hours of July 14th, 2020. His father, William, told us he was just getting off of work. He died 6 days later at the hospital. Today, Greensboro Crime Stoppers announced the reward for information about his murder is now $8,000. It was previously $2,000, but anonymous donors stepped in. If you have any information that leads to an arrest in this case, call Crime Stoppers at 336-373-1000. William says people have information about his son's murder that they may not think is important, but could be the reason that this crime is solved. Hear more from him coming up at 6.
And High Point police are still investigating what happened to a 15-year-old boy who was shot and killed yesterday. Police say the 15-year-old boy was found lying next to a house and had been shot twice. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Devontae Strickland was arrested in connection to the shooting. Officers say he told them he thought the teen was messing with a car in his driveway. He's charged with first-degree murder and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. We do have the 911 calls from this incident. Hear more about those calls coming up at 6. And anytime you want to submit a tip to the Crime Stoppers, you can without revealing who you are. You can call or submit tips online. If you call this number, 336-373-1000. But we want to walk you through the online process so you get a better idea of what you will be asked when you submit a tip. So first, go to the Greensboro Guilford Crime Stoppers page. There you can find that link on the city's website or the Crime Stoppers Facebook page. Once you're there, you're going to click Submit a Tip. That's in the right corner underneath the long black bar. Once you click that, it will take you to this page. The page asks you for the incident details like who, what, where, when, and how. Then you can give further information like the offense, was it child abuse, a shooting, or some other crime, and you provide location information. The online page even lets you report a school incident or bullying. So this is important now. When you hit the submit button, you will not be asked for any personal information. Your identity will stay protected.
Greensboro leaders are also talking about recent crimes in the city. 2 nightclub shootings happened over the weekend, and a 72-year-old woman was shot to death at a gas station recently. The city council said it takes effort from the entire community to lower the number of violent crimes, but they say more still needs to be done. Mayor Nancy Vaughn suggested inviting the DA and a judge to join an upcoming work session.
We've talked about cash bail reform, but that is for kind of low level, writing a bad check, something like that. It shouldn't be about somebody who goes out and commits a crime with a gun, who is a crime against another person. And I would like us to have a conversation with the DA and the judges on what they look for when it comes to bail. Because the young man who shot the woman at the Speedway had been arrested before on gun charges.
The city council is also drafting some new rules to keep people safe, but they're not expected to vote on that ordinance until September.
All right, time to get to your 4 to 5 roundup now. First up, the family of Andrew Brown Jr. has filed a $30 million civil rights lawsuit. The suit claims Brown died because of the deputy's reckless disregard of his life. Pasquotank County deputies shot and killed Brown as they were trying to serve drug-related warrants. Deputies fired at Brown's car as he tried to drive off. The DA determined the shooting was justified, so the deputies were not charged. State Republican lawmakers have proposed a ban on teachers discussing critical race theory in K-12 classrooms. The theory is the idea that race is nothing but a social construct. It argues that race was created to oppress minority populations economically, politically, and socially in the justice system. Changes to the bill allow specific race-related conversations, but does not allow the promotion of critical race theory discussion. And they figured out how to get a bear out of a tree in Raleigh. Apparently the secret, jelly donuts. You'll remember the bear caused quite the commotion at UNC Rex Healthcare yesterday. Animal Control put donuts and sardines under the tree last night. Around midnight, the bear climbed down, ate the donuts, then took off.
I feel like Krispy Kreme needs to do a promotion with that. All right, let's take a look at global news now. As the Delta variant spreads worldwide, other nations are starting to crack down on their COVID restrictions to try to get a hold of the spread of the virus. CBS News' Tina Krause is taking a look at new restrictions in South Korea for gym goers.
Playing music during a workout can give you that extra boost. But health officials in South Korea worry fast-paced songs could also boost COVID cases as people breathe harder and potentially splash sweat on each other. This woman asks, how can officials who've never even been to a gym impose regulations on us? The rules ban songs with a tempo higher than 120 beats per minute during group exercises.
Oppan Gangnam Style.
Meaning music like the huge South Korean hit Gangnam Style, which clocks in at 132 beats, is off the playlist. The COVID crackdown also bans showers at the gym and limits treadmill speeds to a maximum of 3.7 miles per hour. This man says even at a slower pace, he's still sweating, so he's not sure the restrictions will make any difference. Even some opposition lawmakers have ridiculed the rules. But with South Korea fighting to curb its worst ever coronavirus outbreak, health officials insist slowing the music may slow the spread of COVID.
Well, some locations across the Triad are hearing some rumble of thunder. This radar look paints a nice picture of what exactly the term scattered showers and storms means. Everyone not seeing rain or even lightning. Some locations are having bright skies, even now rain downpouring here at our station. So even south of us, some heavy downpours as well, and even some lightning. This is a look at the satellite. So this is from outer space looking down at the clouds, and you can really see some of them blowing off in this northeastern direction, kind of showing you where the wind direction is coming from in the upper levels, and then some of even coming from the south as we are getting this tropical air and moisture pumping into our area. Now, current winds across the Triad really gusting in some locations, especially there near Davie County, where some of those storms have made their way through, and even on eastern portions there of Greensboro. So the forecast kind of putting in more scattered and showered storms as we go throughout the course of this evening. Drying though late tonight, and then going into your day Thursday, you can expect much of a very similar pattern as to what we had today. The chance of scattered showers and storms by the late day, meaning not everyone getting to see some rainfall. This weekend has greater chances of rainfall as well into the start of this week, next week, and overall heat and humidity though sticking around. Now next week we do cool down just slightly, and that's simply because we have greater cloud cover and the chance of greater showers and storms. But overall we're staying hot and humid.
Yes, and with that, Second Harvest Food Bank broke, or in this case, spooned the ground to start the building of its new facility. Check out these renderings. The new building will help Second Harvest combine storage and operations into one hub.
Our current facility is challenged on many ways. One is we're in multiple buildings, we have off-site storage. We can consolidate that under one roof, which makes us more efficient. But more importantly, we will be able to double our capacity with cold storage, which means more fresh food to our neighbors in need.
Well, this is the first building campaign Second Harvest has had in 20 years. It's already raised $12 million, but needs another $275,000 to hit its goal.
All right, I want to jump in here really quick because Second Harvest is partnering with us for Tanya's Two Wishes event. What is that event? Okay, here it is. I'm turning 50, people, and I got two wishes. One is to provide 50,000 meals to folks in our area in partnership with Second Harvest Food Bank. It's a one-day food drive at the Harris Teeter at Friendly Shops, Tuesday, July 20th, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. You can drop off in-person donations or you can donate online. Now, here's how you get to the link. Check it out when you go to our website. There's a section all the way up at the top that says Tanya's Two Wishes, and then you'll find stories there, and there's a direct link in each story. Wish number two. Let's show you. It's Spread Joy. Come spin the prize wheel. Whether you donate or not, walk away with a prize at the Harris Teeter. Okay, now we're going to keep rolling on the subject of food. Let's take a look at this video. It is the game of what is in the freezer. Some of the things are a little hard to identify. Can you relate to this, my friends?
That's what my fridge looks like right now.
It does.
Freezer, anyway.
Your freezer looks like that.
I don't really have too many things in there that are like mystery foods. I tend to cycle through it pretty fast.
That's good for you. See, I get things, I put them in there, I forget they're there, and then I'm like, I have no idea what this was.
Because it looks all weird when it gets all frozen, right? So this had me looking at a better system.
Vacuum sealers help maintain the quality of frozen foods by limiting exposure to air. And maintaining the quality of your food reduces waste.
So Consumer Reports tested 7 vacuum sealers ranging from about $60 to $180, and they work by removing the air from the bag, and then they fuse the top along a heated strip to create an airtight seal. All of the vacuum sealers that Consumer Reports tested were excellent at sealing dry goods, but only 4 were actually better when sealing foods with liquids, like if you marinate your meat, right? So the Food Saver Multi-Use, and I hope we're going to show all of those, the Hamilton Beach Nutrifresh and the Black & Decker Premium Vacuum Sealer and the Nova Culinary Vacuum Sealer are the ones that they chose. All right, so not in the market for a vacuum sealer. Here's how to freeze food right. The key is to remove as much air as possible, then wrap your food tightly in plastic or foil before you put it in the bag. All right, and then here's key. Label the foods when they go into the deep freeze and eat them in reverse order so nothing sits for too long. Here's the thing. Freezer burn does not make the meat unsafe to eat, but it can change the taste, the texture, and the appearance.
Hopefully I can get this out correctly. Say it with me. She sells seashells by the seashore. A little tongue twister. Thank you, Chad and Lauren. I appreciate that. because it is hard to say. But think about this. If you buy her seashells, do you know she got those shells at the shore or how she got them? She might have not collected empty ones from the beach like you do when you go. Let's connect the dots on why buying souvenir shells could be harmful.
You may want to steer clear of buying shells at souvenir shops this summer. It could be doing more harm than good. Let's connect the dots. The Riverbank Zoo in South Carolina posting to Facebook that the best way to protect some sea creatures is not buy seashell souvenirs. Turns out many of those shops order their shells from wholesale traders. Many of them are harvesting marine life just to get their shells. Experts say not only does this hurt the population of the species, but it's also dangerous to the entire ecosystem. So how can you help? South Carolina zoo experts recommend searching the beach for empty shells. They say double check you aren't accidentally picking up a shell with a living creature inside of it. And that's connecting the dots.
That's so interesting.
I like to catch them. I like to collect them anyway. You know, I just don't feel right buying them because I don't know where they came from.
Well, yeah, apparently no one does. Now I just have this vision of you like running across the beach trying to catch.
He has his bucket in his pail. He's like digging through.
I
with
want
the
this
kids.
one.
But you guys know you have to get out there early if you want to find them. I mean, early in the day because I mean there's seashell spotters, trying to alliterate here, that are out there so early in the morning.
Absolutely. And then the waves, don't they like come closer to the shore throughout the day at some point?
Like a high tide brings
High
them
tide
in,
happens, yeah, absolutely. I will say that my grandma used to always look for seashells with me, but my mom is really good at it, so it must be a genetic thing. I hope I get that next. It hasn't happened yet.
Has she ever found one of those big like conch shells, like the ones like you can blow through?
No, I'll have to see.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm always looking for those.
They're cool.
So when do you think this is going to set in? I mean, you'd think it was
maybe
just
have to have
something
a
you were
kid.
born with.
That comes with being a mom. Yeah, maybe.
We're rooting for you, Maddie.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you are headed to the beach, the rules vary town by town. We made a list of the popular Carolina beaches and the rules you need to know for each town. Just text the word beach to 336-379-5775 and we'll respond with the list. We'll be right back.
Mic check,
Hi,
Jalen.
mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Mic check, mic check, mic check. I'm walking closer. I'm right here towards you. I'm walking to the set now. Is that better? Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check 1 2 3. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Okay. Wait, where am I?
Mic check, mic check, mic check. What's this guy's name? I forgot. I got all the stats right here. Aaron, wait.
The NBA draft is coming up in a few weeks. It's set for Thursday, July 29th, and Triad players have their names in it and could become pro. WFMY News 2's Amanda Ferguson catches up with one about his journey so far.
It's a dream for many athletes to be drafted into the pros. A dream Triad basketball player Aaron Wiggins is hoping will come true soon. He says he's been busy working out with teams for the past month.
Just trying to give myself an opportunity to, be the best basketball player, best person I could be, and, put myself in a great position.
In a few weeks, Wesleyan Christian alum and Maryland junior guard Aaron Wiggins is hoping to hear his name called in the NBA draft.
I just felt like it was definitely best for me as an individual to move on and continue to chase my dreams. Teams have told me, I'd be a steal because I have a lot to offer that teams didn't know I had, in terms of what I could bring to a team.
Wiggins says he's not surprised teams view him highly because he can play both sides of the ball.
Nobody wants to be slept on. I've shocked a lot of teams. I've showed a lot that I can do, and teams have liked it. So I've really, helped myself in the last month alone.
But in high school, he didn't think he'd be an NBA prospect.
Before I got to Wesleyan, I never thought I'd have a signing day where I was, committed to a Division I school. So, I've just been blessed and grateful for the opportunities.
The Triad native hopes to inspire future Trojans.
I push myself to the best of my ability, and I work extremely hard, and I try to show them that hard work pays off. If you really get in the gym and you really work hard and you take care of the things you need to take care of, opportunities will present themselves.
While he awaits his opportunity, Wiggins says he'll focus on raising his stock for the 2021 NBA draft.
It's the only thought that you have, and it's a dream. So, just being in this position, being extremely grateful and living in the moment.
He is a very busy guy right now. He says he spent about 16 days away from his home working out with teams, and he's expected to work out with about 20 teams.
Oh gosh, that would be so stressful.
Just proving yourself
Right,
one after
yeah.
another.
And it looks like our guy Aaron has grown a little bit since that video we were showing. I saw it now, he's 6'6". I know he averaged about 15 points a game last year for the Terrapins. Great shooter, shot 40% his freshman year. And that's what the NBA is looking for, long arms, good length, play some defense, shoot the three. I think he's got a fit, he's got a chance.
Very cool.
Yeah, and Jalen and I were just talking. He's expected to go in the second round. So we'll definitely be following and see where he does end up.
Sure, his family, friends, and hometown are very proud. That's really impressive, all those stats that you just shot off.
Hey, I just looked them up before we came. It's fine.
What's the inside of your brain look like?
Yeah, I was like, okay.
I don't know, it's probably like a basketball, like a baseball.
Just like
Football.
circling around in there.
Just
That's what yours looks like
it's
too.
just floating around.
All right, that's good to know. We wish him the best of luck, though. We'll certainly be cheering him on from the Triad.
Absolutely. Good luck, Aaron.
I had to throw a Go Terps in there. I am a former Terrapin. The satellite and radar are picking up on some of that storm activity still, and some of which brings some heavy downpours in parts of the Triad. But the lightning, that's what everyone's going to be talking about, at least over the next hour or so. The thunder and the lightning, they kind of come as a pair and really just packing a punch with the rain, especially in southern Guilford County, and even taking a look over in Alamance County, a dropping of 4 inches of rain fairly quickly. Now, with some of these showers, they really could allow for some potential flash flooding in some locations. Remember the #1 rule, we never drive through flooded roadways. Taking our way over to Guilford County, where 1.5 inches of rainfall. Now, these storm systems are moving very quickly, so not really expecting this to be a washout as we go through the evening, kind of scattered and making their way out. Talking about temperatures riding around those 90s over the next couple of days, and that 7-day, putting it all into perspective for you. Scattered showers and storms the case for today and tomorrow, and again on Friday. The weekend has a greater chance of showers and storms, and then the start of next week as well. Slightly cooler temperatures, but we'll all feel the heat still as well.
He thought he was tampering with his car. It happened after 2 yesterday.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3. Mic.
Hey there, Oklahoma, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota.
Hi, Callie. Can you hear me? Thank you. Hello, Dark Delicious Cookie meets an icy cold sensation.
It's time for my 2 cents. Do you ever feel like your life is in a default state, like you're just going with the flow, letting things come to you? I had a realization a couple months ago that through the best of intentions, I was letting life happen to me rather than making life happen. I was trying to make myself fit with my life rather than tailoring my life to fit who I am. I had set everything into cruise control and failed to realize that I was still in the driver's seat. I also realized that it was all in an attempt to be easygoing and avoid disturbing other people's lives. I did things I didn't want to or have to just so I wouldn't have to tell somebody no. I didn't speak up because I didn't want to make a splash. I didn't make my own decisions thinking it was the only way not to let anybody down, but I let myself down. It's easy to sit back and let life happen to you and think you're doing a good thing, but it can't truly be good if you feel bad. The things you want to happen to you are out there, but rarely do they just fall in your lap. Don't be afraid to say no, don't silence yourself, and don't let others make decisions for you. You have to trust yourself to get back in control, to take the wheel and steer your life in the direction you want it to go in. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
Look at all that green out there. Storms moving across Guilford County right now. Lightning and loud thunder here at the station.
Meteorologist Monique Robinson joins us now. Yeah, Monique, we heard some of those thunderstorms during the 4 to the 5. What are you seeing right now?
Still more storms pushing their way through Guilford County. The good news is they're moving out quickly, so not going to be a true rain event for the entirety of your evening, but definitely still dealing with it, at least still through this 5 p.m. hour, some of which including lightning as well. So we're talking heavy downpours as well as some lightning, which also then brings along the thunder. Zooming in a little bit closer to northern portions of Guilford County, where we do see that lightning on there, as well as those reds, yellows, and oranges, which means heavy downpours. Zooming in a wider view here, you can see this is a loop over the last 30 minutes. They're moving very quickly out of the picture here, at least for Guilford County, which means as we go through the course of the night, things are going to change. The skies are going to look a little bit differently. So as of 3 p.m., we did see some rainfall move through. This is a time lapse. This is a rain shaft that you can start to see making rainfall late 3 p.m. hour. 4 p.m. hour, again, another round of rain, again, scattered showers and storms, much of the case. And then now, even right around 4:45, the latest update on this time lapse, again, showing kind of a washout on that camera view. But the good news is over the next 12 hours, the rainfall chance really surely enough diminishes. So kind of going through this 5 p.m. hour, 6 p.m. hour, yes, again, but then we start to dry out as we end out the day, and the temperatures also cooling off a bit. Cool is an understatement though. We're still going to be in the 70s for the late day hour, and then as we start out the day tomorrow, we're back to cranking up the heat.
Track the storms on our free WFMY News 2 app. There you will find the latest weather alerts, radar, and the 7-day forecast.
Coronavirus cases, positive tests, and hospitalizations are ticking back up while vaccinations slow down.
It's a concern Guilford County leaders are trying to address with this, their new mobile vaccine unit.
WFMY News 2's Marissa Tansino joins us in